Hey, what's up, my little hunters? It's your boy Mikiryu Shioto, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends series Magneto and Professor X 2-pack. So let's get a closer look at the packaging. I will say right now, when I display these, I will have Sir Patrick Stewart's head on the body, and I'm pretty much going to forget about McAvoy because I grew up with Patrick Stewart and whatever this guy's name is, Gandalf. So on this side we got a picture of Magneto, Marvel Legends series. On the back, get a blown up form of the pictures. I apologize for the scuffs. No, I don't. They were in my backpack along with the other figures. And then same thing as over here, but a little bit more tall, sitting in his chair. So let's crack these boys open and see what they're all about. And there they are out of the packaging with head swaps and hands and whatnot. So let's get the accessories out of the way so that we can look at the figures themselves. So starting with Magneto, we get a pretty cool, I guess you would call it magnetic manipulation hand. He has technically two sets of hands, so two fists and two magnetic magnetic field manipulators. And then we get a helmetless head sculpt, very beautifully sculpted, really good line work. Honestly, it does look like the guy, to me anyway. Head swap parts. And then we have the other guy who played in, what was that? Assassin's Creed, the movie. Still waiting on a second one. Although I doubt we'll get one due to how crappy that movie was. But I'm not a movie review channel. I'm a toy review channel. Kind of like that marbly effect that's occurring. And then for Charles, we have his telepathy focusing hand. And I'm not really sure what these are. They might actually be for use on the wheelchair, like to make it look like he's steering himself. He has technically a set of that kind of hand. I've seen all of the X-Men movies, I think. And then we've got McAvoy bald head for first class if you wanted. I don't. So now that we've gotten those out of the way, let's take a closer look at Magneto himself. And yeah, I will say it right now. I actually like this. I like the way he looks. There's a significant color indiscrepancy between the helmet and the first class outfit, but you know, all in all, pretty good. Love the cape focus. There we go. Focus on the cape. The camera doesn't want to focus. So I'm trying to look at the background. And then pretty cool shiny plastic. Very cool actually to look at it. I do kind of like this iridescent effect that's occurring on his legs. Pretty cool to me. So let's get to the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. You know what? We're gonna do this without the cape. The cape is a stiff plastic, and yeah, does peg in, but doesn't really peg in that well. It might just be the fact that, I didn't actually push the peg in. Okay, yeah, it was the fact that I didn't push the peg in. So, push the peg in, and cape still wants to move, but not as badly. I do this to myself almost every review with a character that has something that can be removed. I put it back with one hand. Whoop, whoop. So, Magneto can look that far down, look that far up with the cape. Let's try without the cape, and we're gonna unpeg it from the peg hole. It's back. I think I may have pushed in too far. Nope. Get off. Come on. Come on. There we go, Gandalf. So, I don't know. Let's see. Not much more in the way of looking up. A little bit more looking down. Arms. Yeesh. Arm joints are really stiff. Oh, I heard a click. You guys heard that click, right? That means that, yep, ratcheted shoulder joints. The bane of my existence. Bicep swivel. Let's try to move his arm. Hang on, guys. So I was able to get the arms up. This one is actually a lot looser than this one. I feel like I might break this one. So I might not be moving. Thanks. Whew, that's stress-inducing. But they go up that far. Bicep swivel, as you saw earlier. Let's try. Keep in mind, this is literally the first time I'm opening this. So, these are all my initial thoughts. And might be my copy, but geez, that elbow does not want to bend. And I'm not too keen on this semi-ratcheted shoulder. So, no lower arm swivel. Hands are on the pegs, so he can bend his wrists down, back, and rotate. We have a chest crunch. I want to say an entire ab crunch, but due to this being a little bit more of a sturdy plastic, I guess you'd say, he's not really gonna do much more than that. So yeah, can move side to side that far, so you're not gonna lose a lot of articulation. You just won't gain a lot more. And then let's check and see if Magneto can do the splits, because everybody wants to see Magneto get his crotch hurt. So that's about as far as his legs will go. He does have a upper thigh cut. Again, stiff, but posable. We're going to return that to center. Can kick. Let's see how far Magneto can kick. Wah! Roundhouse kick. Whoops. Spin kick. So that's about as far as he can kick before it starts trying to go off to the side. Double jointed knee. Let's see how far this double jointed knee will take us. And it takes us almost to the heel to butt. Foot pivots that far forward. Jeez. Maybe I should do this against this. Make it easier for you guys to see. Because I can see, but you can't. Even with the shiny plastic, it's still hard to see. And then all the way down so we can get him into the mutant Jesus. Where's he, Lucifer? Leave in the comments below what your feelings are on Magneto's ideals. And we have rocker joint. Do we have a boot swivel? We do. We have a calf cut / boot swivel. And as Mgo says, second verse, same with the first, so he can, he can move both sides of himself, which is always good, because otherwise, what's the point in having an action figure, right? So let's get the cape back on. Stare at the dead head of Magneto. Take Magneto's head and pop it back on to the body. And that is the Magneto. So I'm going to give him the rating of Blue Fire Ghost Rider. And let's see if Charles fares much better. Now, quite frankly, if you know Charles, you know that he's pretty much going to stay in that chair. So it's kind of pointless to do any articulation from the waist down. But we will anyway. So let's get his hands off the wheels, which is what's been actually holding him in here. Because there's, yep, see? Wheelchair rolls as rolling things should. Front wheels don't roll, actually. They're stuck in place. They don't even pivot. I feel cheated. They are in that, I want to call it the cop-out silver plastic. Back wheels roll, so you got that going for yourself, but no front wheels. They don't move. No move. But yeah, there's no peg to keep Charles in the seat either. There's literally nothing to hold him in there. So let's move that out of the way. Whoops, bumped his head. Get a look at Sir Patrick Stewart's head before we move on to articulation. I actually really like the way that they made this Charles, I guess you'd say, customizable. Like, if you don't like Patrick Stewart, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't like Patrick Stewart as Charles, you can have McAvoy, the Xavier Booty. And, yep, so head can move side to side, turn, look. Let's see how far we can get Charles. The good old Mr. Clean. Wheelchair-bound Mr. Clean. Teamed up with Cap, Wolvie or Chuck. I'd even work with Howard the Duck. Sorry. But yeah. So he can look up pretty far and look down pretty far. He can look down upon you, peasant. Or he can look up to you. Let's see how much further. Okay, you cannot tell me that would not make a pretty good vulture head. Anyway, let's straighten his legs out just to get it out of the way. How much of a crunch do we get? That far forward. And that far back. So there you go. There's that. Let's see how stubborn his shoulder joints are. That one's pretty freaking stubborn. Also, on my copy, this joint is clearly misplaced because, yeah, his arms are messed up. So that's as far as they're going to go with this one. A little bit higher than that one. Double jointed elbows, bicep cut. Focus, you stupid camera. And then hands are on the pivot back, pivot forward, rotate, yada yada. Let's see if we get rotation. We do get waist rotation, but again, he's going to be in the chair. Not much point in having that. So let's see how far Charles can spread his legs, his seemingly useless legs. Waist, or not waste a thigh cut. Let's see how far he can kick. Pretty good for a disabled dude. Double jointed knee. And foot will go, if I can get a hold of it, foot will go, I guess, is perpetually stuck that way. And yeah, you don't really get much movement out of him, as he's Charles Xavier. He's stuck in a wheelchair. He's a wheelchair-bound Mr. Clean, as Deadpool says in that song that I'm totally not referencing in a X-Men toy review. Alright, let's see if I can get back in the chair without screwing up. Cool, got him in the chair. Relatively easily. He's not really sitting though. There we go. So that is my thoughts on the two. Posability is to be expected. A little subpar in my opinion with Magneto, as he's supposed to be, movable. But, all in all, he's pretty good. The package did say 14 and up, so as a adult, these are, aimed towards the adult collectors, if not teenagers. So, overall, I'll say that as a 2-pack, they get the rating of Blue Fire Ghost Rider. And individually, they're still Blue Fire Ghost Rider, except for the fact that Eric here is higher up on the Blue Fire Ghost Rider, and Charles is lower on the Blue Fire Ghost Rider. But the 2-pack is definitely worth getting, especially if you have the X-Men Origins Wolverine figure. Then you get a pretty cool one. A pretty good setup. So that's it for my thoughts. I should mention that I got this at my local GameStop. They were having some sort of event where if you buy a bag, which is what I've been using as the backdrop for these last few reviews, if you buy a bag or whatever you buy, you get this bag, and anything you buy after that is 15% off of its initial price. So, yep, there's the my blankets, and there's Charles and Magneto. Get you a little bit closer on that, Charles, just for the good measure. Nobody really cares about Magneto, but just kidding. So until next time, my little hunters, you should have stayed awake.